All right, am I live? Let's see. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Am I live? What the fuck? It's not coming up. Oh, there you go. I'm live. Let us see if we can hear my voice. Also, oh wow, beautiful voice. I sound as eloquent as always. Right, anyways, for some reason OBS keeps doing this thing with camo, studio camera, whatever, like the thing I used to attach virtual camera with my phone, right, is sometimes it's zoomed out and I can actually like see my setup properly because like I'm pointing at um like the rig I have, which is just like a fucking phone holder ring light thing, right? But that's usually like, let's say if this is my desk, like this rectangle is my desk, sometimes I can have the ring light be up here and it's not obstructing my desk and the paper in it, right? Because it's zoomed out properly. And times like this, it's very zoomed in, or like it's extremely zoomed out, and I have to zoom in, like bring it much closer. All that to say, draw along with me. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. I don't know where this drawing is going. Um, I like obviously have a huge tendency to over detail, as you can see here. Like if I didn't say this is a robot thing that's having this mechanic guy who's like on this machine that's hoisted him up and it's like attached here and he's working on it. If I didn't say that, I highly doubt anybody listening or watching would have actually understood that's what this is, right? So it's a skill issue. Clearly a composition issue, a line quality issue, letting the drawing breathe issue, right? And when I say issue, I mean problem, which means it's a problem solving skill that I need to work on. But I highly doubt anybody's gonna pull up for the stream because fucking Broken Draw is watching right now. Watching right now, what the fuck? Broken Draw, Tyrion, he's streaming right now. So everybody's, oh, never mind. Hello, Osign B. Hello. How are you? How are you? Thank you for joining. Never mind. Everybody loves me. I'm back, baby. But okay, so it's really interesting when you think about drawing from imagination because in Tyrion's stream, I was just there, like listening to him, made some stupid jokes as always. But he mentions, by the way, I'm thinking while I'm speaking, I'm trying to think of like something. That's exactly my point that I was trying to make. Funny enough, is he was saying how like for him, he doesn't really visualize like exactly what he's gonna have on the page or like what he's gonna see, right? He literally does it the how Bryce does it, Bryce Colander does it, where he kind of just they discover what they're about to draw. And I do agree to that to a degree, right? Where we are discovering relatively what we're trying to draw, right? What it is that is actually being created. But about to sleep, lol. I have class early tomorrow. Oh, no worries. Get some good rest, Osign. Get some good rest indeed. It's unfortunate I won't be able to lull you to sleep tonight, but that is life. Right? Just know that I love you. Just know that I love you. Anyways, but for yeah, like we're always like discovering what we're drawing. But for me, like I've been training myself. This is how you know it's a skill. Right? Good luck with your stream. Thank you, thank you. Right? But for me, I've been training myself on the ability to visualize, right? Like I've been training myself to visualize what is happening on the screen, essentially, right? Like to visualize, or not the screen, sorry, the page, like what I am trying to draw. So I feel as if that's really cool. I feel as if that we can learn a lot from just that what I just said, based on what also Tyrion like Broken Draw said, is which is everybody may have the same outcome that you see, right? But their inputs, right? What they're thinking, what they're doing, what they're actively focusing on, where their efforts are concentrated, can be vastly different, right? And that's why it's like there's no one size fits all. Like the thing is, I wholeheartedly believe that as much as you want to build a skill, you can. So Origin Gaming, boo hoo. Origin, oh, Origin Gaming, fuck off. Random stranger, please go fuck yourself. Please go fuck yourself. But and I mean that I mean that because no bias. I don't know who you are, but yeah, fuck off and die as they say, right? In Minecraft specifically, please kill yourself in Minecraft. Anyways, um, yeah, I believe like anybody can build the skill that they're trying to build, right? So yeah, if you want to, if you want your imagination drawings to be a stream of consciousness, they absolutely can be. But if you want to build a skill to visualize, it takes a lot more effort, right? In my opinion, it takes a lot more effort because I'm actively trying to think like, what do I want here? Like to explain my thoughts, right? Shreera, no, that was me. I switched account. Pixel art, JJ. Holy, this looks great. Oh, thank you, Pixel art. An actual fan, not unlike, sorry, unlike the cunts who have proliferated in this chat. Leave my innocent Uljin alone. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna stop fucking reading this. But yeah, thank you, Pixel Art. I'm okay. So to be honest and like transparent and to actually give you the process, the insights for the artist to actually give a shit about what an artist is thinking when they're drawing. I'm trying to think about something that is detached from this, right? Because this is a robot that's clearly being worked on, or clear to me, but I'm sure it's very hard to read. But yeah, this is the robot, right? This is the thing that's being worked on. I haven't added the legs yet. I haven't added any wires or anything that are hanging, attaching to this thing. Right, I could probably start doing that now. But again, for a sense of scale, because scale is very important, for a sense of scale and to lead the eye, and again, line weight, right? So for a sense of scale and line weight, something like this is possibly, there you go. That already, like if we know that this is the size of, let's say, the average man, right? Like 5'11", whatever, 5'10", Canada, I guess. This is now something that's like, oh shit, this is a genuinely large cylindrical, manipulated. What's it called? What the fuck? Bent cylinder, right? Draw me, draw Oljan like one of your French girls. I'm gonna draw him with a stake through his heart. How about that, right? Also, I'm aware that my phone, or my phone keeps autofocusing. I can't do anything about that. Hopefully, you can just see the drawing relatively well. But yeah, like to add scale, I think this is also not that bad. But what I'm trying to think about here is okay, I want something that's detached from here to indicate that this is essentially a receptacle for where a human would be, right? But I think to do that, I could do something like this, right? We could do something like this. If we want to lead the eye, I want to do something like this because we also have to keep the perspective of this thing in mind, right? So maybe something like, now this line may not mean much to you. But to me, that line is essentially where that receptacle is going to be. And because it's going to be fitting the average person, let's say, right? It's going to be roughly the length of this man over here, right? And because it's a bit further away, it'll be a bit smaller. Now I have established to myself, okay, now we've given breathability and we're thinking about composition. Not that I understand what composition means yet, right? But it's like, okay, now we're leading the eye. Like this is flowing this way. Now we're kind of, if I were to look here, I'm not immediately kind of clustering this with a bunch of shit going here. It's like, okay, clear separation, right? Also, perhaps even silhouette is being involved, right? Again, do I really understand these to a degree that warrants me saying that I have technical proficiency in it? No, but it's the intent, like trying to think about it is very helpful, right? And now the next question is, okay, so clearly I've put this receptacle, whatever it is, over here, right? And also I'm keeping the perspective in mind. Don't forget the horizon line's right around here, right? Which is why the head's going to some point over there. This is like oriented differently in space. It's going off page, right? Somewhere over there. Um, and this thing is following this perspective roughly, right? And we're going back there. Um, Perhaps you can see it, perhaps you cannot, right? Maybe even I'm not seeing it to as much clarity as I would like, right? And also on top of that, I do want to start designing on these cylinders, these bent cylinders, a bit more with intention. Because like you see how I just do this. I don't know if anybody's ever paid attention to any of my drawings, but this is literally like my fucking basic, boring, de facto form indication for a bent cylinder, right? It's just this bullshit. Like, and this doesn't mean anything. By the way, please, anybody listening, I encourage you to draw along or just draw something for the love of God. Don't use. Do not expect me to be going at a speed that is reflective of any sort of entertainment quality, right? Unless you just like looking at the drawing or listening to my bullshit. But like, I do encourage you to draw along, right? But either way, either way, okay. What pattern can be put here? Now I have to think. I have to think, and we have to think with intent, right? So I'm thinking maybe, because I've never done this before, but maybe this can actually have a cutout, right? Maybe this cylinder that I'm thinking about can have a cutout like so. And perhaps and this could be wrong because I'm trying to visualize this while I draw it, right? So let's not forget that's a skill. Visualizing while drawing is a very difficult skill, right? So if I'm going to indicate that this is a cutout, then I can have form indications which perhaps follow that perspective. Something like this. And because, my lines are very tiny, it's all the more imperative to ensure that my line confidence is also uh, adept at the very least, right? Now, did this really work? Hard to say. I would say no. I would personally say it didn't work. And now this looks like two pipes with like an extended thing that doesn't really make any sense. So how can we perhaps, if I indicate the form all the way through, something like that, maybe that's a bit better, right? Maybe, but it's okay because we're right now just trying to understand. Understand. I don't know why I had a list there, but we're trying to understand and do our best. So, right? And again, like because my whole thing right now is just trying to make mechanical shapes, right? Having some semblance of articulation with the mechanical shapes, right? I'm also thinking, okay, like let's go back to the receptacle, and you'll see this is my process. I'll keep going back and forth. I'll keep going back and forth, right? I love how I told Tyrion slash Broken Draw that I was gonna perhaps finish my drawing, my stream, my imagination drawing today. I'm not gonna get shit done. We're just gonna keep trying. But if we go back to this, right? w- Thinking about obviously some sort of articulation, and maybe you hear me say the word articulation. I was like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Right? What is this? You can't just keep saying articulation without actually explaining what the fuck you're talking about. And to that I say articulation. Right? You just gotta articulate, bro. It's as simple as that. But an actual answer would be articulation in the sense of like how whatever you're drawing functions, right? Do you do any observation when you're not drawing? I try to like I do try to as often as I can, and when I say as often as I can, it's probably not as often as I would like to or often as I should, but in the moments where I'm cognizant enough to be like, oh, I should pay attention or maybe I should observe that a bit more, I do try to look at examples either on Pinterest or in real life of like how something looks, right? How something functions, how not even functions, just like what are the shapes that I'm noticing? Like right now, literally, I looked at the what's it called? The wheel stand of my ring light. So my ring light has like a wheel stand, three wheels, right? And I just looked at, okay, shit, it's covered like that. The wheels have this covering on them. So now I'm literally just trying to copy that sort of covering design language, right? And by the way, by copy I mean like not copy exactly, I mean like copy the intent behind that covering design language, right? It's just like which basically is just something that's wrapping around, you know? I hope that answers your question. Like, no, I'm not actively, constantly, always observing, but when I do, I try to make it meaningful, or at least try to understand like what is the type of manipulations occurring. Hey, Viggy. Oh yeah, what's good? What's good? EVG, Eggman official. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm drawing. Dude, I don't know if I'm procrastinating because I should be recording my videos as a backlog for my like my actual channel content. But I've been wanting to stream so much. Like Tyrion slash Broken Draw inspired me so much. That fucker, because he started doing his Kim Jong-un streams. I'm like, I can't be outdone. So here I am. And plus, I really like this drawing. I really like how it's going. So I've just been kind of, I guess, is that called procrastination, right? I mean, I'm still gonna draw. I'm still drawing. I'm still fucking trying my goddamn hardest to make sense of everything. But perhaps I'm not as good. I'm not doing as good as I should. See, like, what am I doing here, right? Here I'm out adding multiple rounding. You know, it's like it's Kim Jong-il was very notable for constantly talking about adding tiny details. Like, make sure you add small details. I mean, unfortunately, my drawings are full of small details. Call me a man. I'll call you He-Man. I got you, brother. But like, yeah, I'm just trying to find that middle ground between adding details and making it make sense. Right? Like this is like a hinge, right? I don't even think this hinge is in the correct perspective, but that's when we can just fix it like so, right? And if we're going to go by this thing being some sort of receptacle for this average man-sized individual, right? Uh, okay, cool. No, I'm just looking at what people are saying, but if we're going by that, then I should obviously extend this and like maybe give it some purpose. So like, okay, see, it's really hard to think about function when already I'm thinking about perspective, line, form, composition, and design, right? So I want to make that very clear. Like all of those things, whether it's in snippets, whether it's like very hazy blurbs, or whether it's just me at moments catching onto those blurbs and be like, okay, wait, have intention, right? The point is right now, trying to think about function is like, okay, like, well, how does this thing open up? Is it even opening up from the bottom, right? I would think because I've committed to some sort of design like this that possibly it is opening up from the bottom, right? See, and then I that wasn't even supposed to, I didn't even think I would do something like this, but now I've added like some sort of little cylindrical shape, right? Pixel RJJ, you are better than Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say. Here's what I'll say to that. I'm definitely better than him when it comes to hard surface stuff because he doesn't practice and hasn't practiced hard surface stuff to the extent that I have. I'm not better than him when it comes to gesture, when it comes to line confidence, and when it comes to anatomy and portraiture because I haven't practiced those things to that extent, right? I understand people think that hard surface stuff is more impressive, and personally, I think hard surface stuff is extremely impressive, which is why I've dedicated so much of my time to getting really good at hard surface or like just really trying to understand it, right? But I think better is truly subjective in the sense because I can do some things, I can do a decent amount of things that he can't, but he can do a lot of things that I can't either, right? So uh, apart from that, right? That's my little don't want to rub on anybody's was I step on anybody's shoes and so no, genuinely, I really respect Kieran's art. I have nothing negative to say about it, but yeah, like he can't do hard surface stuff like this, and that's because he doesn't even care to do it. I literally asked him like fucking in the stream last time, like draw a mech. He's like, nah, bro, I'm not doing that shit. I'm like, you're fucking a waste, man. But that's fine, right? That's cool. But hey, like I obviously I have grand goals, you know. I have extremely grand goals. So I have to just see like okay, calculate. So here, how am I going to determine the center line of this? Well, we get to the center of this, we bring it down all the way, and then we bring it out, and we're like, okay, that's where it is, right? Now, if you couldn't see that, don't worry, maybe I saw it incorrectly as well. But the thing is, the intent of these calculations also matter quite a bit, right? Let's see. Bring that over there. And maybe it's gonna be a little bit out, jutting out like that, right? But are you Indian? Yeah, he's Canadian. Well, yes, I am Canadian, but yes, I'm South Indian. Like I am South Indian, right? எனக்கு தமிழ் பேச தெரியும். If anybody knew what that meant, I said I know how to speak Tamil or Tam or for you white folk out there. But yeah, I'm South Indian. Then here, like when we had a little cutout. See, here I'm losing the design because I didn't really know what I was doing there. So you have to remember that's important too, is like we need consistency in what we're drawing, right? But it still looks relatively mechanical, which is cool. That's fine too. That's completely fine, right? My bad, his name and his face, it's like, yeah. Oh, dude, EVG man, please do not dox me. I would request kindly because some people know what my face looks like. I gave my Discord out on the last stream. So again, like I'm not running away from doing a face reveal, but I just don't want to reveal my face on YouTube for the time being, right? If you find me through other means like Discord, I mean, I guess I just dox myself in that sense, but yeah, like I don't plan to do a face reveal for a very long time, right? But that's just my personal preference, right? Tyrion even suggested I do a face reveal, or like he implied he's like, oh, you should do it. You'd get more views. You should put your face in the thumbnail, right? Because I am a handsome fellow. But I was like, nah, bro, not anytime soon, right? Okay, so how does this come about? There you go. There you go. I'll do a face reveal when I hit 500,000 subs. So we'll get to it, right? Yeah, vanakkam. All right, my bad. Yeah, no, I mean you didn't do anything wrong at all, but nothing sounds Indian, lol. I don't know where you got that from. I mean, well, I guess that's a complete bias that you have. I, I can be Indian and yet not sound stereotypically Indian, you know? Like, and I do get that. I mean, I guess, yeah, people make fun of the Indian accent a lot, and I get that. It is a funny sounding accent if you translate it to a language in which it wasn't meant to be spoken to, but you know, I'm not gonna be like I'm Canadian and run away from my heritage either, right? That's fucking retarded too. So see, like I completely fucked up the design for this. I'll be completely honest. It's also because I'm fucking talking while drawing, which, as we all know, I bitch about it all the time on my on my fucking my sessions, right? See, like, what the fuck happened here? No idea, but we're just gonna do this and leave it. There you go. It's a complete mistake. But yeah, Pixel Art JJ, I'm sure you meant no harm by saying that I don't sound Indian because I don't sound stereotypically Indian. But I am brown as shit, so not brown as shit particularly, but I am brown as shit, right? Like brown as hell, whatever. So it makes sense that I would be Indian, right? Or at least like it's likely. Plus, I'm in Canada, bro. We've apparently infested, for what many people are saying, the country. So it is not an inevitability. That actually looks pretty cool. Again, you see when you kind of is it like a truck or a helicopter? No, it's not a truck or helicopter. Well, that's the thing. I'm glad it looks mechanical, but I'm just trying to create some sort of receptacle that because like okay, like there's a robot. This person is on this little thingy vehicle. It's lifted him up, and he's working on I guess the arm of the robot. And this is basically the receptacle where because it's like a let's just say it's like a Gundam, right? Or Pacific Rim, like a Gundam, a mech that people work that like people pilot, right? So I'm trying to think about like, okay, well, there's a receptacle. How can I create now? How do I like create something that's an aesthetically pleasing composition and a functional attachment that's also designed well, right? So a lot of things to think about there. Pixel Art JJ asks, do you have any bad art habits? I mean, one thing that I always like to work on is just making sure my lines are clean and I'm not switching, right? Switching in the sense of, let me just give an example. Not switching, sorry, chin scratching. Switching is something different, I guess. But just move this up, I guess. Yeah, like, like the line